At tonight's City Council meeting, a resolution is expected to be passed to require the owner of a factory destroyed by a fire to clean up what remains of the factory or pay the city to do the work. In 2017, a massive fire destroyed the factory at 200 Aaron Street. The bricks and twisted metal that remained after the fire have been there ever since, but the city now wants the property cleaned up. Property owner LaWanda Martin says she can't afford to pay a contractor or the city to do the work.
They have said if I will give them the land, they will take care of it. I won't have to clean it up.
She doesn't want to donate the land, but says she would sell it to the city. City Manager Leon Torniski says buying the property is not an option because it has a negative value. Tonight's resolution, if passed, will be the first of its kind in the city, Torniski says.
City Council has neighborhood meetings, and once a year they'll meet with neighbors in that area. And for the past 2 years, that's been an issue that we've heard a lot about, is, you know, when is the city going to require something to happen on that property?
About 2 months ago, Martin had a contractor ready to clean up the site and then buy the land, but Torniski says the city wouldn't issue a demolition permit because the contractor isn't licensed to do that kind of work.
I don't know what to do.
A factory across the street from Martin's burned down about 4 years ago and has not been cleaned up, but Torniski says the property owner has tentatively agreed to give the land to the city. Torniski says the city would likely have to pay about $60,000 to have a contractor clean up Martin's property. If Martin couldn't pay, she would get to keep the property, but a lien would be placed on it. The City Council meeting starts at 7:30 tonight on 10 News at 11. I'll tell you if City Council passed the resolution as expected or not. In Martinsville, Colter Anstad, 10 News, working for you.